Hey everyone, Rho here. Before I begin today, I've moved the gaming uploads over to the Rho Plays channel. This is a dedicated gaming channel where I upload each and every day. We've kicked it off with a Necromunda Hired Gun series, and today I'm mixing it up with a little Streets of Rage 4. Plus we have co-op Space Hulk, Sea of Thieves and Vermintide 2 all on the way. So please drop me a subscribe over there if you're interested in that. Of course, as always, I really appreciate it. I'll put a link in the description as well, but with that said, let's move on to today. And today we're taking a look at just what the future may hold for the Death Guard Traitor Legion. General spoiler warning to begin, as we will be discussing events from across the Warhammer 40k universe, so you have been warned. But with that said, let's just jump straight in. So the Death Guard, one of the most unique of all the traitor legions, completely fallen into the god Nurgle's image, and yet still one of the most intact legions. Its structure largely remaining iron fast beneath the heel of Mortarion. For 10,000 years, Mortarion has held his legion firmly within his grasp, as all around him fellow traitor legions began to crumble. And well, that is until possibly now, because thanks to the events of the Plague Wars in Ultramar, Mortarion is now out of the picture. At least for now. The Primarch, in his eagerness to end Ultramar, ignored Nurgle's calls for a return to the Scourge Stars. Such was Mortarion's desire to end his brother Guilliman. He ignored the calls of his patron god. And as a result, Mortarion is now imprisoned within the Garden of Nurgle. Nurgle immeasurably displeased with his chosen champion's actions. And well, this is where Mortarion was last seen, and he is not expected to emerge from the garden for quite some time. Such is Nurgle's anger at his traitor Primarch. And this leaves an immense power vacuum now sitting at the top of the Death Guard Legion. And well, no traitor legion is without its power-hungry warlords, schemers and plotters just waiting for a chance to capitalise. And that very much includes the Death Guard. So, as unlikely as it always seemed beneath Mortarion's iron grip, could we begin to see much more strife within the Legion? I think it's a definite possibility. Each of the Death Guard companies have more or less remained structured and intact. Each of them their own, a hugely immense army in their own right. And Mortarion, largely in between his own campaigns, allowed these warlords to prosecute whatever wars and triumphs they wished, until the time came that he called them back together. And as long as they listened when he called, he gave them large amounts of autonomy. However, now in his absence, rather than being lost without him, they're absolutely going to continue to do what they do best: death and destruction, and amassing power. And with this in mind, one very big reason I think this could all result in a lot of turmoil is because the Death Guard's constant recruitment. They have been unbelievably increasing in size since the very days of the heresy. Mortarion has always desired to have the largest armada ever seen. And that means that while many of the traitor legions have remained at level best in terms of numbers, if not rapidly declining, the Death Guard have been alone in growing immeasurably. And as such, they have many new legionaries, and those legionaries are not original Death Guard. those who were not a part or never knew the Legion of old, the Legion in its true glory era. And it's those Marines who do not have such an ingrained sense of loyalty to the Primarch himself. It's a rather unique blend. Those that are steadfast, loyal, and who would die for their Primarch, and those that unequivocally would not. And those that perhaps even would see Mortarian's personal desires as a weakness for the Legion, that if they were removed, the Death Guard would only benefit. That the Primarch's leadership, rather than a boon to the Legion, is actually a curse. I absolutely expect a cold war of sorts to begin, in the rush of warlords to fill the power vacuum. Those warlords that seek to stabilize the Legion, and those that merely seek power, and maybe even those that are seeking to displace Mortarion completely. As foolish as that notion may be, there are some within the Death Guard ranks that just may be willing to try their luck. Now the wild card here is absolutely Typhus, the Herald of Nurgle and first captain of the Death Guard. Typhus alone of the Death Guard has had an almost free reign of control, and although he has worked with his Primarch in campaigns, this is done in truth only at Nurgle's behest. His relationship with his Primarch is today one of scorn, and it's hard to tell if Typhus would want control of the Death Guard as a whole, if it was even possible, or if he would be simply disinterested in it entirely. He cares only about furthering Nurgle's desires. So the question is, would he look at Mortarion's absence as the perfect opportunity to do that? There would be no better way of prosecuting Nurgle's wishes than if he had the control of the entire Legion. And it has to be said, it would certainly give him some selfish gratification if, when Mortarion finally returned, he returned to find Typhus now in full control. I just can't decide if Typhus would be willing to take that on or not. Would he see it as an opportunity, or would he see it as a burden? Now, of course, a full-scale civil war is unlikely, as much as it ever was within a traitor legion at least. And of course Mortarion will ultimately return and reclaim his place at the head of the Legion at some point. At least that's what you'd expect. This is, as always, just some fun speculation. However, I definitely do feel we could see some interesting developments to come with the Death Guard narrative. Or at least there's some opportunity here with Mortarion's absence for it. Yes, they will have to take a backseat for the foreseeable future, with surely other traitor legions taking their time to shine. However, when Mortarion does return, he could be returning to a very different Death Guard legion indeed, and it could be one that has excelled or imploded in his absence. As always guys, what do you think? How do you think the Death Guard will act in the absence of their Primarch? Will they continue to go about business as usual in their Primarch's absence? Or will there be those who try to claim the power that is gone? And how do you think Typhus will deal with Mortarion's absence from the Legion? Will he largely ignore it? Or will he try to claim the power for himself? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, I love to read them. Huge thank you to all my subscribers, your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.